How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today let's have a look at the brand new Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Baroness with Cobra Coil. The box art for this is absolutely stunning and fantastic. Here's the left hand side of the box, here's the right hand side of the box, and here's the top. The back of the packaging looks very much like beachheads with an image of the island on the back. So what do we got here? Well, we got the Baroness, we got the Cobra Coil, we got the two guns that go on the side of the coil, two little golden pistol sidearms, a Cobra dagger, and also this thing. It's a coil around her arm Cobra laser pistol gun thing. I'm sorry, what's the significance of this thing? And she also comes with a helmet, which is actually an interchangeable head. See? And now, she doesn't have any hair. Hooray! What does she do? Put it up in a great big bun before she puts the helmet on? Would have been kind of fun if the visor went up too. Anyway, I guess we're starting this kind of bass-ackwards because this is what the helmet looks like up close. It looks like someone took a Power Ranger helmet and spray painted it black. Both of her golden sidearm pistols just fit right there and right there. Or is it like that? No, I think that it looks better like this, with the handles, the pistol handles sticking out the side like that. And the Baroness's Cobra Stabby just fits right in there, in the sheath, just like that. If you want to use the Cobra Coil arm laser pistol thingamadoo, you just stick it like that. You just stick it, it just goes right around. You just, I'm making this look a lot harder than it is. You just, there, yeah. Oh, hold on a second. Oh my God. Like that. Ta-da! I felt like that kid who's like, you could want. I'm sure it actually fits in her hands, but guess what? I'm not gonna squeeze it in there. Okay, maybe I will. That's what it looks like when it's in her hand. And both of the guns that fit on the side of the motorbike also fit conveniently in her hands as well, so she can actually use them as both. Okay, I just want to jump in and let everybody know that this camera right here that I usually film on, the Panasonic Lumix FZ1000, great camera, highly recommended, wonderful for doing reviews and for vlogging and pretty much anything. I can't film on the rest of the video with it because the battery on this thing is just toast. It held its charge for 5 minutes. It's a very old battery. It's probably about 4 years old, and I've used it almost every day for 4 years. It's actually expanding. The battery is getting rounder across the middle, which means, hear that kind of clumping? Yeah, that's not my finger hitting that's making that. That's the battery teeter-tottering on the table. So this video is going to look exactly like what you're looking at now from now on, and sorry about that. I just gotta wait for the new batteries to show up for this camera in the mail, and then things can return to normal. Anyway, the show must go on, and on with the review. So this Baroness figure, they've added a lot of details. They've really gussied her up in comparison to how she looks with her original action figure form. The old Hasbro figure definitely had a more simplistic design, as the rest of the Joes do, but they've done such a great job in bringing something new to the table, as with the rest of these G.I. Joe classified figures. And if you're wondering what her head sculpt looks like up close, this is what mine looks like. I had to actually pull her hair away and remove her glasses a little bit. You can see what's behind there. That's what her eyes look like, because her glasses actually weren't on properly when I got her. They were actually on off to the side like that. So I had to unglue them and then push them in, and I'll re-glue them on. So just so you know, when you're looking for these ladies in the store, take a quick look at her face and make sure that her glasses are glued on properly. They've really done some fantastic work with adding new character to this really beloved G.I. Joe female Baroness villain. They've really done some fantastic work adding a whole bunch of new character and personality to this altogether loved and recognizable Cobra villain. The Baroness is a figure I never had as a kid, so I don't have one to directly compare her to, but I really love what they've done with the double belts going around her, with the gun holsters there. Her hair, which is a nice soft rubber, comes right down over her back, and it's cut nice and perfectly there in a nice straight line. I like that. You got the little gauntlets here with the Cobra emblems right there on them. There's scaling, and it's actually a different color. Like the scaling in between is actually kind of a grayish brown color. I know that it might not be showing up on camera the same as it usually does, but she really is an absolutely fantastic looking figure. Because she's a G.I. Joe classified, her head and neck have a ball hinged peg, so she can look right down at whatever's going on the ground there. Maybe she dropped a contact, she needs to pick it up. There's also a ball right here at the bottom of her neck. Her shoulders have those pauldrons, and they get in the way just a little bit, but not enough that I would think that it's much of a hassle. When you turn her arms around, the pauldrons actually go with them around in a circle. You've got no bicep swivels, and I know for some people that's going to be a little bit of a bother. You have single jointed elbows that go, come on, can you push this? Can you push it 90 degrees? That's close enough. And they also rotate back and forth. The wrists are on those little spinny pegs. Is there a hinge there? Yes, the hinge actually goes up and down that way. I'm not used to the hinges being like that. I'm used to the hinges being back and forward hinges. She does have articulation in the torso by way of that rounded ball joint, and the same thing down here. So there's actually a really good fair amount of articulation kind of all over the place in the torso. She has the dumbbell drop hinge right there in the groin, so you can pull them down and up like that. You can get more posability out of her. Combine that with the double jointed knees here, and she's also got a thigh cut around in a circle. She's got the pivoty ankle hinges, and that's all she wrote. But that's a very reasonable amount of articulation as far as I'm concerned. I will say this about the Baroness and some of the other Joe figures like Snake Eyes, is that their belts, because they're not really attached, they're just loose, they do kind of wiggle around a bit and get in the way of, you know, what you're trying to do with the figure. But these were never intended really for children's play. I mean, yeah, they're in the toy aisle and they say, what, 4 and up or whatever on them? Yeah, 4 and up. Who are we kidding? We know that for the most part, 4-year-olds aren't seeing these on the pegs going, I want them. Well, partially because us adult collectors are buying them before the 4-year-olds can get there. But also the fact that they didn't grow up with G.I. Joe. We did. And these are definitely adult-oriented collector figures. So yeah, I think that she's fantastic, and I think that it's uber cool that she comes with this awesome, awesome motorbike. I love this so much. I think this is one of the best things that I've ever seen come with a G.I. Joe ever, and I had an absolute square metric butt ton when I was a kid. Seriously, if you're into customization, this thing has so much potential. You could turn this into a Bat Cycle, into a Nightwing Cycle. You could leave this as a Cobra Coil. You could do so much with this. Personally, I'm just going to leave it as is because it looks so awesome. Just take a look at this thing from the front. You've got that kind of green tinted windshield up there. The actual handlebars, when you turn the handlebars, which are actually on ball pegs, which is kind of nice. That helps you for putting the figure's hands on it and moving them around where they need to be. When you turn the handlebars, it actually turns the wheel as well. If I turn the wheel, you'll see that the handlebars move, which is cool. You also have movement right here in the windshield, and the tires are actually a softer plastic. They're not really rubber, but they're not really plastic. I think they feel like there's something in between. Cool thing is, it does stand up all on its own without falling down, which is a nice little surprise. These two guns right here, it's simple how you pop them on. You just stick them in the hole like that, and they just boop on like that, and you take the next gun and you stick it in the hole like that. If you're questioning as to how well the Baroness fits on the motorcycle, well, you can see here she fits quite nicely, actually. There are 2 footholds. There's one on the back here, and there's the peg hole one down there. I've got hers on the back because that just looks like a more natural way to ride the bike. However, if you do want to crunch her foot up and stick it on the peg, you can do that too, and it looks just as good. And because I'm a big advocate for wearing motorbike helmets, I thought I would include one last shot of her on the Cobra Coil with the helmet on. You never can be too careful. A brain injury is for life, so always wear your motorbike helmet. It's funny, the pattern on the tires I've noticed actually makes this sound like a badass motorbike. Possibly like a Harley or something, I don't know. I don't ride a motorbike. And it fell over. Oh, hang on a second, this thing's also got a kickstand. I'm here taking the pictures for the end of the video, and I find out this bad boy's got a kickstand. You just fold it down like that, and fold it out like that. Ta-da! And then your bike won't fall over. So I guess now that it's the end of the video, I think I'll play some action shots and pose shots and comparisons with the other Joes from this series over top of my final thoughts. I definitely think that she's fantastic, and I feel very fortunate to actually have gotten my hands on one. I'm very lucky to know someone in the States that can send things to me from time to time. But if you do manage to find her out in the wild and you're hemming and hawing, don't pass it up. She really is a fantastic purchase. I don't know if she's ever going to see a single carded release, so unfortunately, possibly with the Cobra Coil might be the only way that you get your hand on her. I'm not sure why they didn't decide to go with a single release for this figure. Maybe they figured she wouldn't sell. I'm not quite sure. But I definitely like her, and I definitely feel like she's worth the money. Anyhow, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to stick around and watch a few more, and if you've already seen everything else, then keep your eyes open for the next one. Have yourself a fantastic day, and take care.